On this portion of the morning show, we're going to put the spotlight on the Richland Area Chamber of Commerce. And joining us is Craig Huth, who is a board member. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning. Thank you for having us in, Phil.
Good to have you in here and spotlight the chamber. So how's the summer been going for you at the Richland Locker?
Fast. Same problem everybody else has. But no, it's been a very good summer for us. Retail's been great. The community sport's been great since we got our new store open a few years ago. It's just been going very well. But like I said, just keeps me busy. And then my son's at that age. He's in baseball. We got a little reprieve for a couple weeks, and then we start football. I think August 3rd, I saw in the email last night. So back at that again, then soccer. So just summer goes fast.
It really does. It's a good time of life, though, with the kids coming up and watching sports. And
it is. It's a lot of fun. He really enjoys it, and it's fun to see his friends. And, those years go fast.
They do. Well, let's talk about the chamber a little bit, Craig. You're going to be hosting some Business After 5 events coming up, I think, aren't you?
Yep. They've got one. Well, they had one in May at 80 German Warehouse. Went over very well. And they have another one in the works, but I don't know for sure that it's set. So I'm not going to announce where yet because I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse. But I know they're working on getting another one set up. And we're always looking for any business that would like to do it. It's a great way to spotlight your business. Local business owners, customers, people can come in. It's after 5, kind of a casual thing, but you can explain your business, show it off. Maybe you got something new you want to show off. It's a great way to do it. We're looking for volunteer businesses who would like to do it. So if anybody out there is interested, please contact the chamber, any board member, or go to rcchamber.org and let us know.
Has the Locker done an After 5 event yet?
Not yet, so I'm going to have to line that up. Yeah, I need to.
You have to put the drop in there for you to do.
No, that's fine. No, we need to do that sometime, though.
People might not leave, though. There's plenty to eat and drink.
Well, that's true. Might have to keep them over in the meat section, the other section.
Yeah. Well, keep us posted on that. I know you had a spring wine walk. How did that go for the businesses?
Went very well. Weather was beautiful. Obviously the weather's key for that event, but no, it was great. We had a good time. We had a great turnout. We always participate at the Locker, and we're down a little ways from uptown, but most people make the walk down, or some people drive down. But no, it was a great event. A lot of people were dressed up. We're also looking to do another one in the fall. That's even usually a bigger event. The fall is usually our biggest one, which is September 25th. So if you want to mark your calendars for that, Friday, September 25th, it's going to be Hawaiian luau theme. So everybody's got a Hawaiian shirt somewhere in their closet. From a previous job I had a boss that on Fridays, Casual Friday, had to wear a Hawaiian shirt. So I might have to try to dig that out if it still fits. Sometimes they shrink once they're hanging in the closet. But
they do.
Yeah.
Or one's wife might throw one away.
Well, that could be too. Because like I said, I think I have one, but otherwise I'll have to get a different one. But yeah, so it's going to be Hawaiian luau theme, which should be a lot of fun. Friday, September 25th.
And you have tickets for that usually, don't you?
Yep. They start going on sale September 1st, so area businesses, we're going to be selling them as well at the Locker this year. So September 1st and you can buy tickets for it.
Sounds good. Do you still have chamber bucks? Are those still available for businesses?
Yes. Yep, we're going to be doing those again. That's a great thing for Christmas. If you want to buy gift certificates or friends and family are hard to buy for, that's a great idea. They come, I believe, at $5, $10, and $20 amounts. We're going to be selling those again. Obviously, they can only be used at chamber members. So if any business out there wants to take those, are not a chamber member, please let us know. But we'll be doing those again, and it's a great idea. It makes people shop local. And I don't always realize, people don't always realize the things we have in town. There's a lot more here than people think. I got to go out of town here or there. But, force them to look local. And there's a lot more businesses and things available here, force you to use them here. And it's a great way of, to showcase the businesses.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think that's a unique gift, too. Mm-hmm. It's one that maybe you don't think of right out of the gate for the person that has everything, but everybody needs to shop for this and that. And some of those kind of items.
Even throw a shameless plug for myself. It's hard to buy for, parents and stuff, but everybody has to eat, whether it's you buy, and use it at the Locker or other places. There's always something out there you can buy for people. And the chamber, pretty much covers it. There's enough businesses to cover everything.
Indeed. So remember that as you get into the fall and, especially for the holidays and whatnot. The American flags downtown, they've been nice.
Yes, they look nice. And the chamber helped to pay for some of those that went put up. But yeah, I thought that looked very nice in town, especially this year with the 250th anniversary and the 4th of July. But the chamber helped to do that. And I think it makes downtown look very nice, supporting the country.
Are there some other events that you're getting involved in this year as well you'd like to talk about?
Well, we're trying to get set up a couple and working on some educational sessions, which they don't have finalized yet, but they're looking at getting a person from another area to come in and talk. So we'll send out more information once we get that set up, but we're also looking for anybody to be a local expert example. Public speaking, you'd be a great one. If you're one, but things like that. If somebody's good with social media, I'm not that old, but I'm not a technology person either, and I don't understand AI. I don't do it, but there's a great it's a great tool for businesses, technology, anything, computer stuff. So if anybody out there is interested in, hey, I'm really good at this, I'd love to share my knowledge. We're looking for people to set up a seminar too, to, we could set it up sometime and have people come in and listen to you.
So that would be a seminar for businesses, or it would be for community people?
Both, I believe. You could do both, whether it's businesses or the employees. But yeah, learn, even if it's simple as computer, Excel, I've taken a class on that, and it's amazing. You think you know it until there's a lot more out there, or a lot more to it than you know once you learn it.
And the problem is it always changes too, doesn't it?
Yes, it seems once I figured out they changed it. It's just like a cell phone. You don't want to get a new one because then you got to learn it all over again.
We've been talking a little bit about the murder mystery, which is going to be going on in August, but I know a lot of businesses will be involved in that as well, won't they?
Yep, there'll be business involved in that. I think the Chamber is helping sponsor some of that too, if I remember right from our meeting. But yes, that'll be coming up here shortly, so it's hard to believe we're almost in August.
And Pumpkin Fest, right?
Yep, that's in the fall as well. That'll be, I believe it's right by the courthouse, and the Chamber is also helping sponsor some of the fee for the petting zoo, so allow the kids to go decorate pumpkins and then get to see the animals in the petting zoo.
Mm-hmm. And then, I got a good chance to support businesses through the year. And you've got the wine walk in the fall, and probably not too far down the road, holidays too, right?
Yes, it's hard to believe, but it's coming fast.
When you look at your business, what's the most popular bratwurst this year?
Probably pineapple teriyaki.
What?
Yep, I know it's a different sounding brat. When we came out with that, I kind of thought, but it's, even people who don't like pineapple, that's been, for a fresh brat, that's probably the most popular brat. Otherwise, overall, probably a pre-cooked brat, because people a lot of times do that for outdoor events or something quick, you just brown it and go. But for flavored brat, pineapple teriyaki, but I think we have about 12, 14 other flavors. But yeah, that's been our most popular one. It's nice and sweet. It's a good brat. Browns up nice.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah, they're surprisingly good.
Sure.
Just the name kind of sounded different, but it's very good.
Does it matter what kind of beer you boil them in, or?
Well, everybody has their preference probably on that one, but I don't know for sure. It's whatever ones you like. I mean, you see Coors Light and different things like that used, but yep, some people like to boil them in that. Others just fry them up regular. So.
You talk about your business. You've been around, 1939?
Yep.
Is that? And that's unreal. And you talk about your forefathers, what they would think of the new facility. It's just
My grandpa passed away before we got it built, but my dad got to see it.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's been going very well. I mean, we're proud to be a third generation business in town. Like I said, been here since 1939, so it's been a long time. But everything's going very well. We're working on hoping in the future to modernize a few more things. Down the road, we just got to pay off debt before you can do the next thing.
Mm-hmm. And what about as far as food items? Any idea of expanding those lines too?
The crew over in the retail building, Ryan and his crew, they do a good job coming out with different flavor marinades. We do a lot of chicken breast marinated. I think today even has like a pizza burger he made up that he's got a sample out there you can try. So I'm just always trying to come up with new items like that to bring people in and vary it by the season too. Fall and winter you go more roasts or loins, things like that, or summer brats, and those things go over more. But then you also run the issue you make it and everybody likes it, and then the season, why aren't you making it now? It's like, well, we don't have room to make everything, so we kind of do something seasonal. But if there's somebody that we've made they want, if they let us know ahead of time, we'll make it up for them.
So do you try some at home before you put them out to the buying public then?
Usually it's just at work more, but
okay.
Mix up something. Yep, we'll put it out for sample and see if everybody likes it.
Interesting. Well, there's never a dull moment, I don't think.
No, we just put in a new smokehouse, so that's been a learning curve too. Yeah, it's all computerized, so that's definitely it's great. It's much faster, much more computerized, but just getting it all dialed in, so we get a product similar to what we had before. We're working through that yet, but it's going very well.
So there's more of a chance that you're going to get what you thought you were going to get. I mean, the other was more trial and error, wasn't it?
Yep.
Sometimes.
Yep. So yeah, with the smokehouse now, I wanted to start getting into smoking briskets and things like that. And our other one just was it was older. It was 30 years old, so just limited what we could do. Where the new one, it's brand new one. We can pretty much do anything we want with it. Just got to have the time and perfect the recipes.
We have our radio auction coming up for Grace, too, and I know that you guys are good contributors, and a lot of people are contributors by getting gift cards and those kind of things, and so thank you again for what you guys do.
Well, I appreciate it. We appreciate your guys' support for the community. You guys do a lot down here.
Yeah, and what does it mean to be a chamber member to you in the gang?
Well, I mean, it's, I try to find that it's hard to find free time, but it's nice to try to go and give back to the community. That's been good to myself and our family. I mean, we've been here quite a few years and supported the business, and hopefully in the chamber event, we are working with the chamber board. You can try to help other businesses, or if, they need advice on something, or if anything we can help out. If there's a business out there, you're going to celebrate a new milestone, or if you're opening a new business, please let us know. We can come to a ribbon cutting, or they have the social media and they do other advertising to promote it. If you're, starting something new, we'd love to help out. Just anything to help promote businesses in Richland Center.
Definitely. That's the whole key for the chamber, isn't it? The whole goal.
Yes. Yep. Try to keep everything local and highlight what we have, because there's a lot in Richland Center.
So you're a board member, and I know Chrissy Adsett is the president. When do you have a changing of the guard or elections or anything like that?
Well, I think Christy's been doing it for a lot of years, does an excellent job. But I know she's wanting to kind of step back a little bit, not leave the board or anything, but just step back a little bit. So I know Craig Woodhouse, I think, is going to take over. I don't know if it was kind of an election, but I think he just kind of got nominated too.
Is he currently running or running from?
I don't know which way he's running, but yeah, no, I think he's willing to do it. So I mean, it is a lot of work, outside. You got a regular job, family, and then try to do that as well. And Christy's done a great job through the years, as well as the rest of the board. But she deserves a little break too. She's done it for a lot of years.
And if someone is listening and are interested, you can be like a one-person crew, self-employed home businesses too, right?
Yep, exactly. Anybody can, and even you don't even have to be a business. If you're willing to, hey, I'd like to help out with the wine walk, and maybe just help sell tickets the night of. They do anything that way. We're always looking for help. Or like I said, anybody that's got an expertise to do a little training seminar on something. Any way you want to help out. I mean, it benefits the community as a whole. We'll sure take the help.
How often do you meet, Craig?
Once a month. Mm-hmm. So I think it's trying to put me on the spot now. It's second or third Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
We meet. So I think it's August 12th we meet. It must be the second Wednesday.
Well, keep us posted on any of the After 5 events. I know we like to promote those as well.
I know they got one in the works, but it wasn't finalized yet, so I don't want to put it out there. If something changes, then I'm in trouble.
Next time you come back. So. Yep. Good deal. Anything else you'd like to add today, Craig?
No, I just appreciate you guys taking the time and helping promote the local business here in town.
Glad to do so. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it, Phil.
Craig Huth, who is a member of the board for the Richland Area Chamber on this portion of the morning show. Welcome back to the morning show studios here in WRCO Country. Leading off today was Craig Huth, batting second, Craig Woodhouse. How you doing, Craig?
I'm doing well. Batting second, I was a two-hole batter for Viroqua American Legion, so I'm used to it. Now, I never cracked the leadoff spot.
That's quite an honor, though, because Viroqua Legion has always been competitive. So,
we were state champs.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. But speaking of baseball, little dedication this weekend over in Kaz, I hear.
Yes. Yeah, that was quite the honor.
Yeah.
Total surprise.
So there's the Philney radio booth over in Kaz now.
In the corner.
Just the corner.
Kind of like back in school.
Yeah, back in the corner.
Hats off to the Kaz people. I was glad they didn't do a butter sculpture of me because that would have probably...
On a day like yesterday and today, it wouldn't have lasted. It wouldn't have lasted. No, it's definitely steamy out there today.
Yes, it is. Well, you are Vice President of Richland Area Chamber, and Craig let it off real well talking about all the events going on. Anything else you'd like to talk about today?
Well, it's a fun time of year at the Chamber. We're right in the middle, and beyond of the summer months. So a lot of activities going on, throughout the area over the course of the summer here, but still a lot coming up to finish off the summer strong here. So I know Craig talked about some of the events and some of the things that the Chamber has going on, but there's still a lot of opportunity for good music in the area, nice entertainment options and events that are coming up. So I want to put it out there to remind people to take a look around because there's quite a bit going on. There's events on Wild Hills Winery on Wednesday nights and other nights as well. And then there's Murder Mystery Weekend coming up. I didn't catch if Craig mentioned that or not, but the last weekend in August. So, that was an event that went really well last year, and the Chamber was helped out with that and was a sponsor for that event. And that brought a lot of people into town, and it sounds like there's good enthusiasm for that as well. We want to support that and make sure that has a good participation, which I think it will. But it's a fun, interactive way to socialize, walk around downtown, get to meet people, and it's just a really neat kind of a unique event.
The first one last year, I happened to see some of the actors downtown and watched them, kind of going back and forth and stopping in for clues, and that was just a lot of fun just to watch it happen.
It sure was, and they had got some actors from the Community Players Theater that were dressed up as actors in the story as the script, part of the script, and so that was a lot of fun for those actors to get to be able to do that. But it was neat. You saw people hanging around, the corners downtown in there, fully in character. Giving clues or maybe misleading, some of the participants a little bit intentionally, but it was a lot of fun. It was a good event, and so we're happy that that's happening again.
Sounds good. And then we're getting in toward some of the fall things coming up. School will be starting soon, and the seasons change pretty quickly, don't they?
Yeah, they sure do. I've seen some of the cross-country kids out running, and I know the football team's been active, and all of the sports teams have been active and getting ready for the upcoming school year, and that's a fun time. I like the weeks leading up to the beginning of the school year. It's kind of a fresh start kind of thing, and it's just good to get for those things to be going on, and kids getting excited, hopefully, to get back in there. But yeah, in the early part of the fall, there are some events coming up. Boarding House Antiques at their garden stage still has a couple shows coming up. August 14th, they're going to have Caravan, which is a really fun group of musicians that have played in Richland Center several times over the years. Kind of a gypsy swing group. So they'll be at the garden stage at the Boarding House Antiques on August 14th. And then September 11th at the Boarding House is Moon House. I'm not too familiar with them, but I'd encourage you to check that out, and stop over and make a visit. There's flyers around town and things like that for that event. So yeah, that's just a really nice casual evening to bring your lawn chair and sit out in the grass and right next to the depot, the tourism center depot. So yeah, encourage that. And then also coming up, I believe, is one more event at Driftless Music Gardens on Labor Day weekend. They've got I think it's their final event of the season. So from what I hear, they've had good turnout this year at their 2-3 day music festivals. We're really lucky to be able to have a venue like that right here in Richland County, and so there's still plenty to do.
There is AD German Warehouse open for tours, and I know every Friday night they have something going on too, don't they?
They do. They've had some really nice events, but yeah, I believe every Friday night. They open up and they have live music and usually some food and drinks and some good socializing opportunities there. And then they've got the Sunday tours are coming up again soon too. So check that out in advance. But I think they're opening up again for the Sunday tours. So that's been exciting. That's been a really neat venue. That it's been exciting to see that kind of come alive. And so yeah, just want to encourage everyone to go out to those things and visit them.
And the auditorium, the city auditorium, they've got a new schedule, which they've been kind of telling me they're going to have it all completed here pretty soon. But they've got quite a few acts already booked, don't they?
They do. They've got quite a few. I'm aware of some of them, but I know there's a couple more that need to be added to the calendar, partly because I owe them some information about our silent film festival. Neighborhood Housing Services is going to sponsor 3 free silent films again this coming fall and winter season. So that'll be out on the calendar soon as well. But it's just, we're really, really lucky to have so many great volunteers that have been working on the city auditorium and freshening the place up. And it feels like it's got a new life. There's some new life and some new energy going on there. So they will be issuing their calendar of events soon for the fall and winter season. So we'll stay tuned for that.
Well, we mentioned NHS. You're executive director of NHS. And can you give us an update? What's going on here lately?
Oh, there's been a lot going on at NHS. We're extremely busy. it's been a really fun and exciting time to be in the housing world, and we're really fortunate to have Neighborhood Housing Services of Southwest Wisconsin right here in Richland Center. So for really 2025 and the first half of 2026 have been very, very busy for us. We closed out 2025 on a really kind of on a high note with the completion of a new home that we built here in Richland Center. We got someone into that house and early in the year, and that's been a really good fit. It was really good for us to be able to build a new house, which we hadn't done for a few years. And then we finished the year really strong with our owner-occupied rehab programs as well. That was really good. That's really a strength of NHS. It's something that we want to continue, but we are in a period right now where we're between some funding cycles, so we're not able to do quite as much right now this month as we'd like to do, but that'll open up again very soon, and we'll be doing more with that. So as part of our strategy of increasing our impact in the communities, we're taking on kind of an advanced partnership model with Southwest CAP, Southwestern Wisconsin Community Action Programs, because they have some housing programs. We have housing programs. So we got together and said, would we be more effective if we partnered? And we spent a lot of months, and time talking about what that would look like. And we came to the conclusion that this is something that we really should do. We can have a greater impact. We can share expertise. We can share technical knowledge and experience. They've got some folks that have been in housing for quite a while there. We do as well, so we're working more closely together all the time. And one of the ways that's come out is a new housing development that we're working on in Lancaster, the city of Lancaster. So NHS has the same 5-county service district as Southwest CAP does. And we came together on this project, and it's for a 9-unit housing development. So it's a development where we're putting in the infrastructure, we're bringing the street up to the city standards, and we broke ground last week on 2 of the homes, and we expect to have those completed early in the fall, and then we'll make preparations for 7 more that we will start the excavation and concrete work this fall and then complete those houses next year. So that was one way, that we were able to partner with Southwest CAP and really take an idea and bring it to fruition. So we want to do more of that, really, and we have goals for this. NHS built 1 house in 2025. We're going to have 2 done in 2026. The goal for 27 is 10 to 12, and then after that, we'll be ramping up to be able to build 20 or more houses a year. And so that's our plan, and that was really only possible by partnering with another nonprofit. We're fortunate to be in a position where we can do that because we are nonprofits. We don't necessarily, we're not a developer per se. We're not a commercial developer, I should say. So we can mitigate some risk by working together on this. We can share some of the costs, share the expertise. Again, we're in this because the communities that we're talking about need housing, and we can do that. So that's definitely a change, and but one that it's a challenge that we're up for. We've really had really great partnerships on this project, and going forward, we expect that to continue. But we're working with a local builder, Whispering Pines Builders, who's based right out of Richland Center here, and they were the general contractor for the house that we built in Richland Center, and they're our general contractor in Lancaster as well. But we're also working very closely with Southwest Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission. They're helping us with some of the zoning questions, and helping us with the permitting process and the developers agreement. They've been really critical in that. So really, it's those 3 agencies coming together to build houses in a space where the commercial developers have kind of been pushed out. So, yeah, it's super exciting. It's building homes is fun, but it's challenging. It's not easy. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. So you just due diligence, and you bring in the experts and ask a lot of questions so that we can mitigate risks as much as possible. And then we're looking here, in Richland Center specifically, we're always looking for, another lot to build on. So there's a few in town here that we're getting some more information on, and, hopefully the right lot will come around that's a good fit for us. And we'd like to, build at least one more new house here in Richland Center in the coming months.
How does that work, Craig? Do you actually go shopping for the lot, or does somebody come to NHS and say, hey, we have this is a possibility? How does that work?
Yeah, well, we just kind of keep our eye open, what we notice when we drive around. But we talk to people at City Hall as well. They might be clued into a lot that, might be a good fit or not. Sometimes, there's some, it's not as easy as just finding a spot and building on it. Sometimes it can be a long process to really identify what is the right lot to build on, and we have to figure out if it's even available. We're not in a position where we can really just buy lots outright at market rate and then build on them. Much like the commercial developers, we're kind of priced out. And as a nonprofit, one of the ways we can do it is by really developing real partnerships. So again, we can share some risk, possibly share some of the costs, but we really seek places where we can acquire a lot or work in partnership with the community. We are doing we're in negotiations with a 4-house unit development in the city of Cuba City, and in that case, they had 4 lots that were available. We're working on this development project together, and what are in our agreement with them to this point, how it's working there is that they're allowing us to build on the lots. However, we will not purchase the lots until the homes are sold. That way, we've reduced risk, and the city has a vested interest in helping us find buyers. What we're really, the target market really is kind of workforce housing. You've heard that mentioned, but we want people that work in the communities to have good, safe places to live that are also affordable. And so in that case, we're marketing these ourselves, and we'll be selling them ourselves in Cuba City. And then, when we find the buyers and those are occupied, then we're purchasing the lots, from the city upon sale. And that's a good way for all partners to have, some kind of skin in the game.
You've partnered with, as you mentioned, Southwest Cap. Does that kind of expand your area a little bit when you partner with them, or does it remain kind of the same, Craig?
Yes and no. We both have the same 5-county service district. So that alone, just from a structural kind of perspective, that made it a little bit easier. However, NHS and Southwest Cap can do work outside of that 5-county service district. So we've talked with some communities that are outside of those 5 counties, and our service district is Richland, Grant, Iowa, Lafayette, and Greene counties. But over the years, NHS has done work in Sauk County and Vernon County, Crawford County, Monroe, several counties around here. But we just need to communicate with those communities, and let them know about our intentions and make sure that they, that everyone's in agreement, that it's something, that it's a good model. So basically, the answer to your question is we're not really increasing the service district, but we are increasing the capacity to do more work by bringing in more experts, and kind of doubling the people power. And then there's, home construction is it takes a lot of different skill sets, and there are skill sets in both of those offices that now we can share. And so we've got some great housing experts here. There's some really good housing experts at Southwest Cap. By working together, now we're all kind of on the same team as far as the housing world goes. So, it's exciting. So, again, the without this partnership, the 9 houses in Lancaster wouldn't be being built. Without this partnership, the proposal for 4 homes in Cuba City wouldn't be being built. So we know by working together, that's 15 homes right there. And that's significant. So,
what is the housing market like now? Because we hear all these reports, it's up and down, or it's stagnant, or whatever. And what have you experienced?
Yeah. Well, there's been a little bit of movement in the market, but the main thing is the cost of materials. Affordability and accessibility have really just reached a new height. It's very, very difficult for us. And we're buying modular homes, parts of modular homes, at a discounted rate because we're a nonprofit. And even with that, it's very difficult to build a 3-bedroom house with 2 baths, a garage, and a basement for less than $300,000. And we're talking about a single-story, very simple home. That's a big, big challenge. So the affordability, just from a materials and labor standpoint, has gotten, quite expensive. Another thing that we see is we certainly advocate for people living in their homes as long as possible and living independently, but we have fewer occupants per home, and that is another driver of demand. So, if you can imagine, and most of us can, a home that had mom and dad and 3 kids, and just because of our demographics and our aging population and whatnot, there are homes now that are 2-story, 4-bedroom homes that have 1 or 2 occupants in them. So that also creates more of a need. And with that, I guess I would like to mention that we follow what's going on in the communities, and I've been attending a lot of the Planning Commission meetings for different municipalities in all of the 5 counties. And last week, I attended the City of Richland Center's Planning Commission meeting, and I was really, really pleased with some of the proposed adjustments, you might say, that are going on or being discussed at that Planning Commission. And these are all, recommendations from the housing study that was done by Southwest Wisconsin Regional Planning in 2024. And it had to do with combining some of the zoning districts. Right now, there's 7 zoning districts in the City of Richland Center, and that's not typical. Most communities this size have, some have 3 only. And so they are doing the research and to try to combine those, some of those districts. That makes things easier for development. It also makes it easier to increase the density of the homes. Another proposal that is being discussed at the Planning Commission here in Richland Center is to allow accessory dwelling units, ADUs. So this might be what sometimes are called the tiny home for grandma in the backyard. Now there's rules that will be go along with that, but I was just really pleasant. It's a good thing, and it was from my perspective that discussion is happening, and so I'd encourage folks to watch the calendar from the City of Richland Center, and there's some really nice discussions going on at the Planning Commission level to help make development easier, increase density, and then just remove some of the questions or barriers to whether it's new construction, or what might be required if someone has a two-story home and they want to rent out the upstairs. What does that look like? Where does that process begin? And if that's a good fit for someone, again, I'm pleased that the Planning Commission is aware of that, and they're doing some of the hard work to make that easier.
Things rolling a little bit with the future of the campus properties. Will NHS possibly be a player in any of that, or is that too early to ask that question?
Yeah, no. NHS is following what's going on with the Campus Reconfiguration Committee and the Public Works Committee as well at the county level, attending some of the meetings. We've let it be known to those groups that NHS would be interested in building homes on the former campus property, the hills behind the campus proper, if you can think of it that way. So, we're ready. NHS is ready. We would like to build some workforce-ready homes there. From what I gather, it's going to take some time to really develop that housing plan at the county level. But again, I'm happy that seems to be moving. And more work is being done on kind of an agreement between the city and county, and there's always kind of back end paperwork that needs to be done in order for there's a lot of work that needs to happen before homes can be built there. But NHS is ready. We'd like to be able to partner on that part of it. NHS at this point doesn't really have it's not really in our strength to be developers of the campus proper, the buildings that are being demolished right now. We don't have any plans for that part of the development, but certainly we could at some point if that's an opportunity that comes along. But right now we're focused on housing and mostly single family dwelling units and just building houses. So we're ready, and we'd be more than happy to partner with the city and with the county and with other entities to get some homes built on the hills behind the campus.
So like 5 years down the road, you mentioned a lofty goal of like 20 homes per year. I mean, how does that even happen? That would take a lot of different builders and everything else to be going on at the same time, wouldn't it?
It does. And one of the things I'm really proud of at NHS is that we have, I feel, really good relationships with contractors. That's one of the reasons why Regional Planning Commission and Southwest CAP expressed an interest in working more closely with us, is that we've really got some great contractors, and we feel obligated to keep work in front of them. We've got a long list of folks, and we kind of know who, which contractors, are really good at certain specialties. We know who's really good at windows, who's really good at siding, who specializes in roofing. And over the years, I feel that we've worked hard to maintain those relationships and develop those relationships. And one thing I saw right away is that that's not the case in all of these communities. At this Lancaster project, Southwest CAP didn't really have a lead on a great contractor, the right kind of contractor to pull that off. And in one of our first discussions, I said, we've got someone right here. Whispering Pines has set modular homes for us, and we have a good relationship with them. And so they are our contractor in Lancaster. It's very important to make sure we understand what they need. Just as we were talking earlier about the Chamber of Commerce and the way that we try to have good relationships with all the businesses and what's going on here, we treat our try to treat our contractors the same way. Try to keep work in front of them. Try to keep them engaged and take care of them and what their needs are, because we just don't want to lose more contractors from the area. Some of the contractors have been kind of priced out of doing work right here in some of the small communities. And we're just going to keep working with them, keep talking to them, And I think it's possible, though, Phil. It's a good question. By working together, we've really increased that capacity, and we can be more efficient. And our role is really a project management role. So once we get that hopper filled up, we're managing the projects, and then we work with general contractors and subcontractors who are actually doing the work. So NHS staff isn't out there swinging hammers per se, at least not yet. That maybe we'll come to that, but we're helping organize the work and lining up the funding and things like that, coordinating with the municipalities, identifying the places where we can get homes built. And that's where we're going to go first. We're going to go to the communities that are ready for us to build, and that's where we'll be doing the building. But yeah, we serve 5 counties, so we need to be able to fill that part of the mission. And so some really exciting things are coming up for NHS. It's been an exciting, I've been in the executive director's seat for a little more than a year, and we've been through a lot in that year. But I want to thank all the employees at NHS for really sticking with some of these changes. It's been challenging, but they're tough. They show perseverance every day. They're very adaptable to change, and they certainly live the mission of NHS every single day, and that's to provide safe and affordable housing, which we've done forever at NHS, really starting with the Park senior, apartments, which are independent living. Done a great job of managing that facility, and we're making improvements there every day. We're right now kind of putting in new carpet, new paint, and things like that on every apartment as they turn over. But we also need to be developing a long-term capital improvement plan for that facility. It's an old building, one of the oldest here in town, built in 1876. So it's been around a long, long time. So we always need to be watching out for the roof and all that kind of things that you need to. So, yeah, but I couldn't be more proud of the NHS employees. They do a great job. We're lucky to have them. They're community-minded folks that just really are focused on safe, affordable housing, and that won't change at all. We're just going to put ourselves in a position to do more of it.
Great. Good to have you along as always, Craig. We appreciate you coming in. Wearing 2 hats today, Richland Area Chamber and Neighborhood Housing Services.
Oh, I like variety, and I like change, and I like new things. So, no, we're having a lot of fun. I have fun with the Chamber. I have fun at NHS, and then other things that we do in the community, too. So, it's all good.
If people are interested, and I know you probably still do the same kind of things, you do some, mortgages, and you do some fix-up things and things like that, too, that people could find out more information about, right?
Yeah. Just give us a call. Give us a call at NHS at 608-647-4949. You certainly are welcome to call us. Like I said, we're kind of working on blending some of our programs, so we don't have as much funding right now for some of those projects. But do give us a call. Let us know that you're thinking about it. And then we'll certainly, have that conversation about if we can't do it right away, maybe it's something that we can do, in a couple months. But we need to plan anyway. So if you're thinking about that, give us a call.
Awesome. Our guest today, Craig Woodhouse, in the second part. Thanks to Craig Huth. It was a show of Craig's here today on the Monday edition of The Morning Show.